Tips up in the air, won by Ole Miss. And we're off and running in the Mid-South. Ole Miss in their home whites, Longwood in their road navies. As Cody McMahon, the Ohio State transfer, drives to the basket for a quick two. Cody McMahon, so good. Preseason SEC second teamer. As you take a look at the Lancers starting five, along with Ulysses. Got to look out for Amore Harris. Last year, she led Longwood in points per game with 11. She's number 24 in blue. You're going to see a lot of pressing tonight from both these teams. You got an Ole Miss team. Defense is their mantra, right? And you just saw a moment ago what Longwood is able to do defensively, too. Three ball off the mark for Debrisha Poe. Mississippi State transfer joined by Christina Wallach, Cody McMahon, Denim DeShields, also Sirachino in the SEC All-Freshman team last year. Pretty stacked starting five if you're Ole Miss, who's won its first 4 games of the year. In Coach O's 8 years, Ole Miss has started 4-0 for the 3rd time and just the 6th time in the 21st century. Someone went deep to find that stat, didn't they, this week?
Yes,
in the Ole Miss communications office. Jasmine Peaks in transition for Longwood. Coming off a loss to Virginia, 94-47 is the first Power 4 that Longwood had faced. Shot a season low 33%. Also a season worst 2 for 12 from outside the arc. As Iwalo almost picks the pocket of Jemiah Robinson. 10 left to shoot this possession. 3 up in the air for Peaks, and she misses. Rebound for Sirachino, 3rd highest rebounder for Ole Miss this year.
Yeah, we're seeing Longwood already having trouble with Ole Miss's stifling defense, and there's Christina Walla on the boards early on.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds for Ole Miss. McMahon fades away, and she is Ole Miss's 4 points tonight.
Yeah, that is just too easy. Ole Miss, they have the height advantage, so Longwood's going to have to find a body and get them off the boards.
Erica Lang Montgomery even said that about her team earlier today, that they will have to rebound way better than they did against Virginia when they were out-rebounded 53-18. Possession down to 10. Malia Brown lets it fly and leaves it short. And a foul called underneath the basket. Debrisha Poe for Ole Miss was hacked. And we mentioned Coach O's got her team at 4-0 this year, but also they're ranked 13th in the country, coming off the program's 2nd Sweet 16 in the last 3 years. Boy, she's done a tremendous job here.
She sure has, and it's such a good start, but you can still tell if you're familiar with this Ole Miss women's basketball team that this is not their best basketball. They will play their best basketball in February when the teams use each other and you figure out what works best. So to have this incredible of a start early on is huge.
Coming off a win at Memphis in overtime. They trailed by as much as 13 points in the 3rd quarter. Cody McMahon spins to the basket. Another fadeaway one-legger. She has all 6 of Ole Miss's points.
She is so smooth, Jake. Man, what an addition she is to this team.
Denim DeShields and Sirachino causing havoc in the backcourt. Jump ball called, and possession stays with Longwood. And Eric, Offensive Player of the Year last year. Credits culture for returning a lot of those players, losing none to the transfer portal in the offseason. That was huge.
Yeah, that is huge. She says that she likes to run her team like a family, and once you get there, you just fall in love with it. She says that Longwood is a hidden gem.
Lancers can't take the lid off the basket. Christine Iwala, too easy for Iwala in her 2nd season at Ole Miss.
Her baby hook is money, Jake. It's so hard to guard.
Again, Iwala coming off back-to-back double-doubles, including a career-high 14 rebounds in Ole Miss's last win against Memphis. Lancers still looking for their first points tonight. J.C. Bolden to the basket, draws the foul. What do you think's the most improved aspect of Iwala's game from a year ago?
I have to say her confidence and also like the footwork in the paint. She gets it and she's not looking to kick it out. She's looking to score first. And last year I feel like that she got most of her points from the offensive boards, going to get it, just being a bulldog in the paint. But now she's accredited herself that title of being a go-to player on this Ole Miss team.
Also, she was playing behind Madison Scott, one of the greatest to ever wear an Ole Miss uniform. As J.C. Bolden makes the first from Conyers, Georgia, 5'7" senior guard, coming into today averaging nearly 8 points per game. And a Longwood team that averages 85.5 points per game. 85.5. 23rd best average in the country. Splits the pair. Christina Wallach pulls down the rebound. Longwood able to get 1 point from the free throw line. Cody McMahon takes on a double team, nearly drops it in.
Now this Longwood team definitely knows how to score. They have put 120 twice this season on the board, but once you're playing against this Ole Miss defense, you have to do something different. You're going to have to be aggressive, drive, but kick it in and out. Things like that, this Ole Miss defense is stifling, as you see there.
Cody McMahon puts it in and one. She is 8 of her team's 10 points in the first quarter.
And it all starts on the defensive end. She sits back like a Cougar, just anticipating that pass. She makes it look so easy. She is a smooth player.
Coach Yo saying about Cody McMahon when asked if Cody was everything she expected, and Coach Yo said her game absolutely, but who she is off the court too has really not surprised Coach Yo, but it's been good to see how happy Cody is and seeing her lead as well, especially at a new team like Ole Miss.
Yeah, she has really walked into this role and embraced the Ole Miss culture. You see that the fans love her. She's very interactive with the children especially. She's just so much fun to watch. Her energy is contagious.
And with 9 of her team's 11 points and a 4-for-4 shooting start, McMahon takes a seat. 9 points for the 2-time All-American in 4 minutes. Longwood gets around the press, down 11-1 early. Here's Ulysses from downtown, and misses strong. Rebound for Latasha Lattimore, another newcomer for Ole Miss, and Lattimore's fouled beneath the cup on Jemiah Robinson, her first, and already the 3rd team foul for Longwood. Longwood's open up this game 0-for-4 shooting, including 3 missed shots from the perimeter. Ole Miss is 5 for 10 shooting as Caitlin Peterson gets bumped out of bounds. Otaifo Esenavalu commits the foul, the junior in her 3rd season with Longwood, recently surpassing 500 career rebounds earlier this month. Also 200 career offensive rebounds for Esenavalu. Peterson rotates to Poe. Got it! Debrisha Poe from Meridian, Mississippi sinks the 3 and forces Erica Lang Montgomery to call for time. Ole Miss has exploded in this first quarter, up 14-1 over Longwood.
Lob passes. This Ole Miss defense is going to cut right through you.
Ole Miss continuing to put on defensive pressure full court, and the inbounds pass is knocked away by the Rebels. Here's a 3. Off the mark for Caitlin Peterson. As Tiana Thompson was in on the steal in the inbounds pass, ball stays with Longwood. There's a foul on Latasha Lattimore for the Rebels. And it's 14-1. Ole Miss lead, 5.5 left in quarter 1. Ole Miss looking to improve to 5-0. And Longwood is 4-2 coming into today. Earlier this year, they took down Division III Randolph, earlier this season, I should say, 121-35. They can score points. Don't let this 1-point start fool you. There's a tie up underneath with Tiana Thompson and Esenavalu. And the possession arrow goes Ole Miss's way. Tiana Thompson, transfer from Georgia Tech, played in 21 games last year. Isn't this something, too? Both these teams just put up points. Talked and harped about their defense, but their offense has been super impressive, too. Natasha Lattimore wanted Cody McMahon in the corner.
Isn't that great that you have 2 teams that can put that many points on the board, but the focus for both of these coaches is the defense.
Ole Miss literally wears T-shirts with the word defense on it, yet they score 84.5 points per game. Foul in the lane on Longwood. Of course, Navy jerseys are going to swarm Cody McMahon at every opportunity. Harris commits her first. Longwood's leading scorer last year with 11 points per game. She was a 2nd team All-Big South honoree. Cody McMahon already looking to be in double figures in this first quarter. There you go, 10 points.
That I have a feeling going forward, Longwood's game plan is going to be make someone else beat you. Cody McMahon's going to have jerseys on her. It's going to be hard every single point she scores.
She almost grabs the miss after she splits the pair. Out to Lattimore from distance. Bullseye! She can hit it from there too. Her second 3 of the year. .10 run for the Rebels over the last minute and 15 seconds. 17-point lead, Ole Miss's biggest of the night. Harris finally takes the lid off the basket for Longwood.
Great job by Harris reading the defense and using her body to create some space. They need more of that.
And Thompson travels in the lane, doesn't agree with the call. Coach O has said about Latasha Lattimore, if she works hard enough, she could be a first-round draft pick in the WNBA, which is a high compliment.
I could see it. I mean, her body type alone is so intimidating, especially on the defensive end. She walks in, you wouldn't think that she could knock down a 3.
And Thompson in on the foul for Ole Miss after committing the turnover on the other end. And in fact, Lattimore transferred from Virginia, who Longwood just paid a visit to. They were talking about Latasha Lattimore's impact on Virginia last year and how the Cavaliers were trying to move forward without her. I mean, over 14 points per game. She led the Cavaliers too with over 8 rebounds per contest as well. That's a big loss for UVA.
A big loss. One of the top scorers on that team.
Big loss for UVA, but a big gain for Coach O and Ole Miss. Destiny Scott from Georgia launches from distance and knocks it down. Longwood's first 3 tonight.
It's a beautiful shot too.
Lauren Jacobs quickly scoots underneath. Basketball batted out of play. Last touch by Ole Miss. Longwood ball. Destiny Scott with her 8th 3 she's made this year, second most for Longwood.
I want to see more of that from them. If you have a little bit of daylight, I mean, Ole Miss still playing good defense on the last 2 times that Longwood scored, but just good quick releases and execution.
Harris to the basket, creates contact, banks it in. Harris has 4 points. She leads Longwood, 4 of her team's 8. Peterson gives to Lattimore. Here's McMahon. Off target, and Bose flies in for the rebound from Chesapeake, Virginia, 6-foot sophomore. Harris wants another, and this time she draws the foul, but can't connect. As Longwood on a 7-0 run, now over the last minute and 13. They just hit some tough shots in this 7-0 run.
I like seeing Longwood get some momentum. It's easy to walk into a place like this and you see the height difference and you see the facility, the pavilion, and nerves get to you. And I feel like we're finally seeing Longwood play Longwood basketball. Calm down a little bit.
Harris, of course, last year's second team All-Big South. With an honor like that, you're definitely going to be on the preseason all-conference list. Harris with 11 points per game a year ago. Played in just 11 games as a freshman. Hit 49% of her shots, too, as a guard.
Some really smart shot selection.
5 of her team's 9, now 6 of her team's 10. Really putting the Lancers on her back tonight. Denham to Shields. Gives to Chinu, who races into the front court for Ole Miss. Now up 8. Rebels have led by as much as 17. McMahon in the lane, falls away. What a soft touch for the 2-time All-American.
Yeah, you mentioned taking the role in your own hands. Cody McMahon, she is not letting off that gas.
A heave down the floor to Essenabalu. She puts it in, but travels. It's the 5th turnover for Longwood as you take a look at Cody McMahon's 11th and 12th points tonight.
That is a beautiful move. Pivot, know where the defense is, and floater to finish.
How do you stop that?
It's nearly impossible to stop that with a hand in her face.
Cabri Chappelle with 5 points, knocks down the mid-range J. Transfer from Mississippi State, where she was one of their greatest 3-point shooters of all time. Decided to transfer inside the state of Mississippi. And also, in just a short amount of time, Poe was named one of the captains on this Ole Miss team. Her and Christina Walla. Possession down to 8 for Longwood. Down 12. Kick out to Peaks. Got to get it off. She does. Nearly rattles in and was halfway down and out.
I thought she was going to land that.
Poe outside to Chinu. Too strong. And McMahon tried to save it. She stepped out of bounds. She can track down rebounds too. We've harped on it all night. McMahon coming off a double-double too. Back-to-back double-doubles for the Rebels. See McMahon transfer from Ohio State. In fact, against Memphis, Coach Yo said that she put the ball in the hands of McMahon at the end of the ball game, and Cody had told Coach Yo that at Ohio State she was never given that opportunity late in games to be the one to put her team up, which shocked me a little bit because she's a two-time All-American. She can ball. Yeah,
that shocks me too, but you know that she had to appreciate that moment and absolutely dominated it. I mean, that's where the ball needed to be.
Denham DeShields commits her first and sends number 11, Destiny Scott, to the foul line. Both teams in the bonus. Scott hits the first. Scott is one of 3 true freshmen on this Lancers team. She's come off the bench in now all 7 games, averaging 18 minutes per game. It's a true freshman getting a lot of time on a team in Longwood that's going to compete in the Big South for sure. Peterson draws a double team in the corner. Now it's Debrisha Poe. Lob down low to Iwala. Iwala with 4 points.
Longwood has a great idea with the trap defense, but Ole Miss is doing such a good job of finding the open man.
A team in Longwood that returns 3 starters from last year and 9 total from their 22-win team that went to the Big South Tournament Championship. Possession down to 5, flung up there and in. Destiny Scott rattles it in as Ole Miss quickly up the floor. Debrisha Poe takes it underneath. And Iwala flips out to Chinu. See the year that Erica Lang Montgomery and Longwood had. A 13-win improvement from 2 years ago. Back-to-back 9-win seasons for Longwood coming into last year as Ole Miss throws it away. Their 3rd turnover tonight. Going to the WNIT, falling in the first round. Longwood did go to the NCAA tournament back in 2022. They beat Mount St. Mary's in the first 4, then lost to number 3 NC State. That was back when Rebecca Tillett was the head coach, who then went on to St. Louis, and then Erica Lang Montgomery was hired. Coach Lang Montgomery was at Florida before taking the Longwood job. She spent 10 years at Flagler, did at the D2 level. Peaks, flicks it in, makes it 24-16, Ole Miss on top. Iwala, block left, outside, 3 ball on the way and off the mark for Poe. Offensive board for Iwala, she's rejected by Esenavalu. You don't see Iwala get blocked like that much.
No, you don't.
Shot clock down to 5, and Ole Miss turns it over. J.C. Bolden up the floor with 10 left in this quarter. Game clock down to 6 for Robinson. Robinson misses. 2 seconds left for McMahon. And McMahon doesn't notice, doesn't get a shot off. 24-16, Ole Miss led by as much as 17 in this first quarter. Oh, already 4-0 for a 3rd time under Coach Yo. And Coach Yo's 8 seasons here. Only the 6th 4-0 start for Ole Miss in the 21st century. I just have to know which intern was given that to look that up today.
So how about this nugget of information?
But the 21st century, that's... How do we figure that out? I need to know. Longwood turns it over after the air ball. First 30 seconds of quarter 2 in Oxford. First meeting between these two schools too. 4-0 starts since 2007. Under Coach Yo, 3 of those 7. Shot in the painted area, off the mark for Ole Miss, and here come the Lancers. They were way more impressive in the back half of that first quarter, Lindsay. What stood out to you about their game?
Yeah, they were being a lot more patient and also not hesitating to take shots.
Esenavalu off the mark. She was contested by Lattimore. Debrisha Poe needs help in the corner and gets it off to Caitlin Peterson. Peterson who spent the last 2 years at UCF, gives to Jador Young, who kisses it home for Ole Miss.
That wasn't the most beautiful possession ever, but it'll do.
Jador Young tore her ACL last year before the season started and is making up for lost time this year. Longwood back down 10. They trailed by as much as 17. Jemiah Robinson misses the long two. Lattimore with the rebound. And they are not letting up defensively. Look at the pressure they're putting on Ole Miss.
Full court. I know that defense has been a big focus for this Longwood team, trying to figure out what works best for them. And they say that they're best when they're mostly man-to-man, and we're seeing a lot of man-to-man tonight.
Debrisha Poe, shot deflected by Essenabalu, but she commits the foul. Coach O wants to see a little more confidence from Jador Young, especially since she's trying to, get her sea legs back under her. Yeah, it's tough coming back from an injury such as an ACL.
It is hard finding your groove after that. I mean, the mental game of it alone. She'll get there.
Essenabalu picks up her second. The junior in her third season with Longwood as Debrisha Poe knocks down the first. This is the first trip of the year at the free throw line for Debrisha Poe. She's a shooter. Knocked down 176 threes in her time at Mississippi State, the fifth most in Bulldogs history. Hits both, and Ole Miss's lead is 28-16. We better look out too, because Debrisha Poe is coming for our jobs. She's expressed her interest in sports journalism, so just making you aware now, Lindsay, making you aware now.
She'd probably do much better than me.
I may not be here next year. It's going to be Debrisha. And whistles intervene. Offensive foul on Destiny Scott. First personal on Scott. All right. Ole Miss gets the ball back. And Lattimore wanted Chinu, throws it out of play. Another careless turnover by Ole Miss. That's their fifth tonight.
Yeah, I know Longwood loves seeing that full court pressure, even if that was mostly uncontested. They needed the break. It is so hard playing full court press on your lungs.
Scott thought about the three, now drives underneath. A beautiful reverse layup to get Longwood back within 10.
Great patience, got herself an easy open look, and great job knocking it down.
Here's that trap. Peterson draws it, gets out of it somehow. Lattimore dials it up from mid-range and misses. And a foul called on the floor. It's maybe on Ulysses. Never mind, it's on number 11, Scott. Here's a look at her last basket. No one there for Ole Miss. Their defense is giving up quite a bit of points in the back half of that first quarter, now early in the second. As you see Scott getting an explanation as to why that foul was called on her. Now agrees after a conversation. Denham DeShields pulls down the miss for Ole Miss. Refresh 20 for the Rebels.
That is going to be a glaring statistic for Longwood going into the half, are these rebounds, especially offensive boards.
And the senior from Atlanta, Georgia, shovels it in. Spent last year also at Mississippi State, DeShields. And you see offensive rebounds on the bottom of your screen. Ole Miss has 8 compared to none for Longwood. Here's Peaks, who averages 7.5 points per game. And an offense that averages 85.5 coming into tonight. Shot clock down to 2 for Brown. Gotta hurry. Launches. And it's off the mark. Rebound pulled down by McMahon. Her 5th already tonight. Could she have back-to-back-to-back double-doubles after tonight? Drains another mid-range. She's on pace for 40.
You talk about her rebounds. It just seems like she is always there. She's an expert when that shot goes up, knowing which way that ball is going to bounce off the rim.
Peeks down the lane, gets tripped up by DeShields. And number 22 in White's second. 32-18. And Cody McMahon has 14 of her team's 32 now. You see DeShields transfer from Mississippi State. Began her career at Alabama Birmingham. Had a season-high 4 steals in that overtime win against Memphis, in which Ole Miss trailed by 13 points late in the third, battled all the way back, and held the Tigers to just 12 points total in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Yeah, definitely some nail-biting going on in that game. Coach Yo said that that was the first time that they got tested with adversity, and she was so proud of her team for stepping up.
Fighting for the rebound, Jayla Murray. And now Murray looking up the floor. Gives to McMahon. Here comes that double team. Back to Murray. Here's Murray. 34-18 now, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss doing such a wonderful job of handling the Longwood pressure.
Longwood can't end the 6-0 Ole Miss run. Murray with another rebound. Here's a steal by Harris. Pulls up. Too strong. And Murray almost throws it away again. Off of Longwood and Ole Miss basketball. What is going on?
It's chaotic, but you can tell that Longwood, it's kind of ingrained in them to sit back and anticipate the pass. Every player on the team is doing it.
I mean, this is also a team, you see Erica Lang Montgomery in her 4th season, that forced 27 turnovers a game last year. That was 2nd in the NCAA. I mean, they are being pests on defense. Both teams, really. So Ole Miss gets it down to Iwala, and Christina Walla is now up to 6 points. She, too, coming off back-to-back double-doubles for Ole Miss. First time she's done that in her career. J.C. Bolden. Her dribble handoff knocked away by Ole Miss. As Caitlin Peterson down to the deck for the Rebels. And number 25, Jasmine Peekson on that, too. Just very interesting to see two teams who are so aggressive defensively go at it. I just always find that matchup fun.
It is fun, and you look at a stat sheet, and it looks like the two of them match up so well. They're both good at the same things. I am just afraid that Longwood is going to be toast by the end of this game. It's so hard playing that full-court press.
Sirachino smooches it in and draws the foul. The SEC all-freshman teamer will go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Sirachino, she is never short of impressive. I mean, the strength that she plays with, I mean, especially last year watching her play, you would have never guessed that she was a freshman.
Frances Ulysse commits her second personal as Ole Miss now in a 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Chinu tying her shoe, coming off a season-high 19 points in that OT win at Memphis. Coach O even saying earlier at shoot-around that she had no idea about that Ole Miss-Memphis rivalry. You know, Ole Miss went up the day of. Didn't go up the night before. They came out sluggish, and she said, you know, logistically, when we go back to Memphis in the future, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, Coach O, you're going to learn. If there is a school within an hour of here, they're a rival.
That really wants to beat Ole Miss, it's Memphis.
Yes, it's Memphis.
Down low dump to Esenavalu, and it's out of bounds. 39-18, Ole Miss in the midst of a 11-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. I don't know what ATC, air traffic control, how they operate witches and broomsticks, but you know what? That's their problem, not mine. Sirachino into the front court for Ole Miss. Final 4.5 left until halftime as Jabrisha Poe, quick trigger, misses, and Chinu was out of play when she touched the basketball. Longwood ball. Scoring drop for Longwood of over 3 minutes. Ole Miss is on a 11-0 run in that same time span. What do you want to see from the Lancers here, Lindsay, in the final 4.5?
I want to see them be aggressive, look to score, look to get some more points on the board. They made some good runs there, and they can keep it going.
Hitting 30% of their shots, 6 for 20 so far, well below their per-game average. As Bose misses the mid-range, Christine Iwala reaches for her 4th rebound tonight. Up the floor, here's Murray. Bumps over Bose, and Bose is called for the foul. Jayla Murray, graduate student at her 3rd school. Spent the last 2 years at Wichita State, but began her career at Florida Southwestern State. big get for Ole Miss and Coach Yo. AAC's second teamer a year ago and also NJCAA third team All-American. New year, and it really is a whole new team for Ole Miss. Lost 12 players a year ago, including 4 of 5 starters, including some of the best to ever wear an Ole Miss uniform, including Madison Scott, who got drafted in the WNBA last year, but Coach Yo calls this a reload, Lindsay, not a rebuild.
Yeah, you cannot replace players like Madison Scott. You have to, exactly what you said, you reload, and with those 8 newcomers, that's exactly what Coach Yo did.
Ball stays this way for Longwood. It is weird, too, and Coach Yo's said it. It's weird not having Madison Scott. That first day of practice, you don't see Maddie Scott in the gym. It's kind of like, what alternate life am I living right now?
You know, she was the perfect example of what it was like to be an Ole Miss Rebel. She was here for all of her collegiate career, and new players would come in, and her job was to teach them the Ole Miss way.
Longwood's missed their last 6 field goals. We'll see if they can end that drought. They can't. Pass stolen by Peterson, all the way to the rim, finishes. The UCF transfer adds 2 for Ole Miss. Quickly down the other end, it's Robinson. Up against Chinu, she can't finish. Now a heave down the floor. Peterson again off balance, gets knocked to the ground. Are we playing football out here? You see the long passes and everything.
Long passes and also very, very physical.
Peterson tried to draw contact underneath too. The transfer from UCF, who began at Indiana. Coming into today, Peterson, yeah, she can score it, Lindsay, but it's the near 4 assists per game right now for Peterson that I think has been super impressive through the first 4 games.
Absolutely. Her court awareness is spectacular.
Now a 15-0 run for Ole Miss over the last 4 minutes. Scoring drought 2, that same exact time for Longwood. This is Ole Miss's biggest lead tonight. Rebels running away with it. As Peterson misses the first. Leading scorers so far, Cody McMahon has 14 of her team's 43. Just now coming back onto the floor for Ole Miss, and Scott for Longwood leads the way with 9 right now on the bench. Here's McMahon, 6 for 8 shooting, also 4 rebounds, 14 points in 12 minutes. The 2-time All-American. Scored over 1,500 points in her career. It's a lot of points.
She's a player that steps up when her team needs it, like in that Memphis game. She wanted the ball in her hands at the end in that overtime. She was not going home with a loss.
Absolutely not. She was 9 for 18 shooting in that game, too. Beautiful slip underneath, but Bolden can't finish. Somehow Longwood gets it back. Robinson couldn't drop it in, and the ball stays with the Lancers. And McMahon, too. 2-time Cheryl Miller Award top 10 finalist. As Erica Lang Montgomery looks on, the 4th-year head coach. Her Longwood Lancers are going to compete in the Big South. Don't let this score fool you at all. Because of defensive efforts like this here, they're watching Debris Chapeau up the floor. They've still made this tough for Ole Miss getting up into the front court.
I mean, every possession, Jake, we are seeing full court press from Longwood.
Peterson steps back over the rim. And rebound out of bounds. And it's Longwood's ball. (44-18). Ole Miss well in control, as you see where Longwood is projected to finish in the Big South. They lost to High Point in the championship last year, hoping to get some revenge on HPU this year. Jemiah Robinson floats it home, and that gets Longwood to 20 points tonight. It's a competitive lead, the Big South. As Lattimore down the lane loses the ball in midair, tried to save it, but instead turns it over. And Ole Miss really hasn't played a ton of Big South teams, Lindsay. In fact, the Rebels did play High Point back in 2016. Radford back in 2000, just not really a conference that Ole Miss has much history with.
Yeah, definitely not a conference that is on the radar. hopefully in the future moving forward we can see more of these matchups.
Maybe it's one of those conferences that Ole Miss doesn't want any kind of history with because of what they can do in women's basketball. Shot off the mark for J.C. Bolden. It was contested as Cody McMahon in transition goes to work, puts it up and in. I don't know how you defend her at this point. She has 16 points.
I mean, doesn't she make it look so easy too?
Well, if you're a youngster out there, watch the game of Cody McMahon because you will do wonders. Robinson from mid-range misses. Longwood's now 7 for 27 shooting tonight at 26%. They came into today hitting 43% of their shots as McMahon wants 2 more. Falls short that time. And a tie up beneath the cup. Robinson for Longwood and Desiree Kiles for Ole Miss in on the tie-up. I'll be very curious to see what Cody McMahon does in SEC play this year and how the conference defends her and makes her a priority.
Yeah, I mean, she is such a smooth player with her finish, but what impresses me the most is the process of getting herself open looks at the basket. She is just so smart.
Off balance, it's in and good for Neilani Simmons. Needed that if you're Longwood. Their first points in 5 minutes.
We have got to take another look at this. Goodness gracious on Lattimore, too, who has an outrageous wingspan. That was an impressive finish.
And Latasha Lattimore's wingspan is almost as long as a 787 Boeing plane. And somehow Simmons able to finish over the top of her. But can't complete the old-fashioned three-point play, and Ole Miss flips the floor. Cody McMahon takes on a crowd and nearly banks it in. 46-22, all Ole Miss in this first half. And saying Sunday night, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the SEC Women's Volleyball Tournament semifinals and championship match. You'll get never-before-seen footage and sound from players and coaches. It's a real behind-the-scenes look. 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the SEC Network and your ESPN app. All new ESPN app, too. Ole Miss Rebels, Ole Miss Volleyball had a fantastic run from the first round, falling to Texas, a national championship contender. Bree Henry and company, you have to give them a shout-out for their strong finish to their season. They had a lot of expectation, but due to injuries, just didn't have the season that they wanted. 45 seconds left in the second quarter. Long three on the way, nearly down, just too strong for Brown. Loose basketball picked up by McMahon. She wants to run. Up the floor to Lattimore. Ole Miss has been tremendous in transition because of the amount of pressure in the backcourt that Longwood's been applying.
Yeah, they're definitely leaving it open, and Ole Miss is also doing a great job at passing it up the floor. Coach Charles used to say the quickest way to get it up is a pass. And they are looking long.
4th offensive rebound of the night for Longwood. And with a dark shot clock in the final 7 seconds, let's see what Brown does with this for the Lancers. Steps back for the 3 and puts it in at the buzzer. 49-25, still all Ole Miss in the first half. We'll hear from Christina Walla and also Tiana Thompson at half. They eventually played Defying Gravity at halftime, which there were some squeals on that high note, and y'all know which high note I'm talking about.
She had to see the promo for Wicked Night and think, oh, baby, this is my night. I'm there.
Moment to shine. Speaking of moments to shine, Christina Walla twirls and banks it in for Ole Miss, and this has just been all Rebels tonight. 51-25 for Coach Yo and company. As Amore Harris, second team all Big South honoree last year, gives to Malia Brown. Shot clock winding down to 10 seconds. Beautiful feed to Brown, but she's rejected by Iwala. 5 left to shoot. In the hands of Brown again, and she's fouled. And Christina Iwala not happy with herself on that.
You have to take a look at this block from Christina Walla. I feel like if this were last year, that would have been 2 points for Longwood. But Christina Walla has gotten herself so quick and so strong in the work in the all season. She got herself around that screen and was quick enough to get the block. That was beautiful.
Brown makes the first free throw. You talk about all that off-season work. As Brown, all Big South honoree in the preseason on the second team this season. What all does go into off-season work, Lindsay? I know you were a shooter back in your day here at Ole Miss, but I know you don't remember much. But go back to your off-season workouts. And what did y'all really work on?
You know, so off-season is really to hone in on your individual skills. Once this time of year rolls around, it's more about team building. It's more about what you're doing as a team with defense. Individual skills like that we see from Cody McMahon, a lot of shots, a lot of conditioning, a lot of strength training, a lot of agility work. I mean, off-season is where you get better as an individual player.
McMahon puts it in, her first three tonight. And she surpassed 20 points this evening, now with 22 after her first made three of the evening.
She is so smooth, Jake. I mean, I can just imagine how many threes she put up, speaking of all season, over the summer.
McMahon's season high, 22 points as Sira Chinu picks the pocket of Jasmine Peaks. DeShields on the other side of the rim, lays it.
And obviously Longwood likes what they're seeing from her. She just renewed her contract for another 6 years as well.
Yeah, 6-year contract extension to 2030, 2031. She was the winningest coach at Division II Flagler from 2009 to 2019, then went to her alma mater. Was an assistant coach there until 2022 at Florida. Pass picked off by Cody McMahon, already a season high 22 points, takes on contact, but can't finish on the shovel. It's been Cody McMahon's night, and we're just watching. All anybody can really do is watch because she's just played a phenomenal game tonight. I don't know how anybody could get in her way or defend her this evening.
Absolutely stellar, Jake. And what's so impressive is she's in such great shape. I mean, she's playing just as fast and as hard now as she was as minute one of this game.
4 of 6 from the free throw line. And add one more to that, too. 5 for 7. 24 points for McMahon in 17 minutes of play today. And just one three-pointer that she's made. 9 for 12 shooting. Longwood just lost recently at Virginia, 94-47. It was their second loss on the year. And a foul drawn underneath for number 24, Amore Harris. Amore Harris was part of that 22-win team for Longwood last year. Just the second 20-win season for Longwood in their Division I era. Back in 21-22 when they went to the NCAA tournament, that was their other 20-win season. And that was also 22 wins. But a loss at Navy, 74-66, and then again that loss on Thursday at Virginia. Cavaliers nearly dropping 100 on Longwood. But with massive offensive performances against Division III Randolph, the Lancers scored 121 points, had 30 steals, forced 42 turnovers. Then they beat NAIA Bluefield 128-31, had 32 steals and 51 turnovers. Yikes.
You don't score that many points without having some talent on your team.
I mean, it's just a lot of turnovers. 93 turnovers forced in 2 games. Their other win was against George Washington, 71-62 win, and against Western Kentucky, 80-42. So they've got some D1 wins under their belt too. As Ole Miss's possession down to 6, it's Debrisha Poe, lets it fly and bags it from the corner.
Yeah, that's shooter's mentality, set up right where she's supposed to be on the baseline, and her team knew exactly where she was.
She had an off night against Memphis, scoreless, but also had a season-high 4 steals on the road in that overtime win up in Memphis. And Poe now with 10 points, and on that miss, finds Denham DeShields, who gets around the pressure by finding McMahon. Now down low to Christine Iwala. And there's that Alphabet-Glinda connection we were talking about between Ole Miss's stars.
Ole Miss is just having their way on the offensive end right now. Not much Longwood can do to stop them.
Ulisse draws the foul. 11 minutes for Ulysses tonight, and scoreless so far for the Lancers' leading scorers. Poe in the corner. You mentioned Ole Miss having their way right now offensively. What are you seeing that's allowed them to be so tremendous tonight?
You know, I have a feeling that what we're seeing Ole Miss play like is a glimpse of what their practices are like when they're just executing their offense perfectly to a T. I feel like they're just playing an Ole Miss game.
Ulysses makes the first free throw, her first point tonight, leading the Lancers this year with over 12 points per game. Knocks down the second. Ulysses from Montreal, Quebec in her third season at Longwood. Coming off her most productive season last year, over 8 points per game in 32 games. You see Otaifo Esanabalu just checking in now for Longwood, number 0 in Navy. Here's McMahon, gets blocked underneath. Contact at the rim, and free throws coming for McMahon. Fouls on Esanabalu, her third tonight. That'll be the most fun name we're going to say all year. Otaifo Esanabalu, number 0 for Longwood. And Esanabalu subs off the floor. She led the Big South last year in rebounds, 280. Third in the conference in rebounds per game with over 8. It's a bummer, though, that Longwood's losing their post presence. Esanabalu to foul trouble. She now has 3. You see Ole Miss with 3 double-figure scorers tonight, led by Cody McMahon's 24. Make it 25. McMahon's career high is 33. She's on career high watch now tonight.
Yeah, definitely on pace to get to 33 and then some.
J.C. Bolden tracking it down, nearly an over and back for the Lancers. Bolden in the corner. 8 left to shoot. This is Bowes. Shot clock down to 4. 3 on the way from Brown. Nearly banked it in. Bowes with the offensive board and loses it in midair. She was blocked by McMahon. Ole Miss flips the floor with the Shields. And contact underneath the basket, off ball. Jayla Murray pummeled one of the Lancers and was called for the foul. Longwood gets the ball back. Which one of the Lancers took the hit from the big bulldozer that is Jayla Murray?
Oh, mercy. I see it there.
It's number 2, J.C. Bolden.
I'm not sure how that happened. It just looked like they got tied up.
Either way, that's the type of effort you want to see despite what the scoring margin is if you're Longwood. This is a team that plays hard. I've loved seeing how they play their game tonight.
And especially the defensive effort that we've seen, the full court press.
Off balance, nearly in for Scott as McMahon on career high points watch at the elbow dishes out to Peterson. Murray aboard, stick back, no. McMahon gets it back, she can't finish. Now it's Poe with the ball for Ole Miss. Back to Peterson. And tracked down by Bowes.
Gosh, it's just so many opportunities.
Even with the score being is what it is, Coach Yo wants to see your team finish there.
Absolutely.
Bolden in the lane, gets a nice bounce off the rim. J.C. Bolden with 3 points. Ole Miss quickly up the floor with Chinu. Drives inside. And McMahon's left all alone. Here's Murray. She draws the foul.
It's the great thing of having Murray on the inside.
What a duo.
What a duo.
What a tandem.
That is some talent to set yourself up for success for the rest of the season.
Jayla Murray puts it in. And there's the longest ovation tonight. If you know, you know.
Don't start. Don't start.
Score will stay at 67. Chinu keeps it at 67. Longwood basketball. He knows. This young guy knows.
I am too old for this.
Me too. That's the worst part in all this.
You're about to be in your 30s, Jake.
Oh, no. Do not bring that up. Do not. Chinu in the corner. Nearly got it to drop home. And here comes Simmons. I told you, Karma would come around if
we
you bring that up.
have a lot to be thankful for on Thanksgiving Day over here.
We do.
My co-pilot.
Okay.
The big 3-0.
Underneath Ulysses. Gets it to drop in after a couple of bounces off the rim. 67-33, Chinu underneath. Turns it over. Back-to-back turnovers caused now by Longwood. They've forced 8 Ole Miss turnovers tonight. They forced nearly 30 per game. Bose slips it to Bolden, who scampers underneath and got hit by the basketball when she threw it up off the bottom of the backboard. She's okay.
She went amongst the land of the towers in there.
Tiana Thompson returns for the Rebels. As you see, J.C. Bolden began her career at Cape Fear Community College in Wilmington, North Carolina. Was also at Biola University, which was a D2 in La Mirada, California. And JCAA All-American at Cape Fear. Nearly 21 points per game in her time there. Someone that Erica Lang Montgomery says can really rally the troops. A definite vocal leader for this team, and everybody needs vocal leaders. Bolden, did come off a second season high 9-point performance in that loss at Virginia. She was 3 for 3 at the foul line in that game, and Bolden tonight is 3 for 4 at the line. 3.5 left in the third quarter. Ole Miss has missed their last 6 field goals. They've turned it over a couple of times too. As Peterson drives, the drought continues for now for Ole Miss. Jasmine Peaks now flips the floor for Longwood. Bounce pass down low, turn and flip up is good for Ulysses. She was scoreless in the first half. Now she has 6 points, Lindsay.
Yeah, that was beautiful court awareness by Peaks as well with the bounce pass. Easy to handle on the inside.
Jayla Murray kisses it home for Ole Miss. That ends a little 6-0 run for Longwood, which was done over the last 61 seconds. Peaks fades back, swish. Love to see that from Jasmine Peaks. She's up to 4 points now. Longwood team still playing hard, Lindsay. Full court press.
They have not let up, Jake. It seems like every single possession.
Debris Chapeau's not letting up either. Lets another one fly from outside the arc. Her third tonight. She has 13 points.
I mean, she is catch and shoot from the three-point line tonight. I wonder if Coach Yo had a conversation with her about her role on this team.
Natasha Lattimore denies Longwood underneath. She rejected Bolden.
Look at Peaks, man. She is playing some ball these last couple possessions with the beautiful assist and then the three-pointer. And then we take a look at Ole Miss. Poe on the other end, ready to shoot.
Yeah, Peaks shot that mid-range J over Poe. So Poe responds with the three ball. And now Debris Chapeau with 13 points. Season high for her. Dribble handoff to Destiny Scott. 10 left to shoot for Harris. Glides underneath and scores. Harris now has 7 points for Longwood. Tiana Thompson, a nice little take to the basket.
That was a pretty drop step. I mean, a smooth finish.
Tiana Thompson's first 2 points this evening. And now Longwood, offensively, they've hit 5 of their last 6 shots. As Bolden looks to continue that trend, shoots it over the rim. Rebound for Peaks. Wanted Bolden back outside, but intercepted by Peterson. Thompson down low to Jador Young, and Young gets hacked, I believe, by Amore Harris. It is. Her third personal. What have you seen from Longwood in this third quarter, Lindsay? They had just 9 second quarter points. Now they've tied their most points scored in a quarter tonight with 16.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to score more. I mean, I see them getting it to the inside as well, not just slinging up jump shots or making a turnover. They're taking really good shot selection.
Jador Young up for 2. Young tonight with 4 points. Coming off that torn ACL last year, missed the majority of her freshman year 2 with injury. Only had 3 minutes played up in Memphis, scored 2 points. Now with 4 tonight. Esanavalu off balance, can't connect. Quickly up the floor, Peterson, coast to coast, she gets rejected by Ulysses with her team leading 6th block tonight.
Great job by Ulysses, getting herself back in transition defense, saved her team those 2 points.
I think Ulysses got called for a technical foul after that block. Third personal for Ulysses. So that means there's some free throws coming for Ole Miss. Take a look at that block one more time. Clean block, but I don't know if that reaction's well suited for a 76-41 game. So Peterson will shoot a free throw, 2 free throws rather.
Have to love the energy.
Peterson hits the first. 4 points tonight for Peterson. Now 2 for 3 from the foul line. An older player, Peterson, graduate student that just wanted to go to a winning culture. Just thought Coach Yo and Ole Miss gave her a better opportunity for that winning culture. Again, you go to the Sweet 16 twice, 2 times in the last 3 years. Coach Yo's going to get some players that are going to give her a call for once.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about energy too. Coach Yo's got that energy that's just contagious. People want to play for her, and you want to do well for her.
Remember the early days, Coach Yo would just say, this is like a crock pot. In the program and in the stages that Ole Miss was in back in those days. Not the case anymore.
The patience that she had to have to build this program.
I mean, from a winless SEC season, it's gone to the NCAA tournament now in 4 straight years. Esanavalu traveled underneath. Esanavalu is one of the best rebounders, too, in Longwood history, averaging over 7.5 rebounds per game in her time there. Tied with Celine Green, who played from 88 to 92 back for the Lancers. Jador Young gets fouled with 21 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. As Jador Young gets ready to go to the line, let's tell you about Marty McGee, where the guys will be along with SEC Nation this weekend every Saturday. Marty McGee and SEC Nation get you ready for football with SEC game previews and the latest news from around the conference. And this week, everybody will be in Knoxville, the University of Tennessee, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Both shows are right here on the SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Be a big game between Tennessee and Vanderbilt, football-wise, this weekend. Of course, Ole Miss preparing for the Egg Bowl on Friday. Jador Young sinks both. And the young sophomore, those are her first free throws this year. Now she subs off. J.C. Bolden with 5 points tonight, 3rd most scored by a Lancer. Game clock down to 7 for Brown. Brown to the basket, finger rolls it in. Down in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter, and Ole Miss just runs out the clock. 80-43, final 10 minutes coming up for us in Oxford after this. When Mom says you will only wear that witch's hat once a year, tell her, no, Mom, there's Wicked Night in Oxford at Ole Miss women's basketball. I will wear this twice this year. Foul called underneath. And it's on Ole Miss and Caitlin Peterson. Peterson fouling Esanavalu, number 0. It's Peterson taking down the 6'2" junior forward. The ball stays this way again. Last touch by the Rebels. Some in-game storylines. Cody McMahon, 1 rebound away from a double-double. Debris Chapeau with a season-high 15 points for Ole Miss. Christina Wallace needs 5 rebounds from her double-double. Long 3 up and down for Malia Brown.
What a shot.
And now Brown has 9 points. 3 Lancers have 9 points tonight as Cody McMahon takes it to the rim and misses. Esanabalu reels in another rebound for Longwood. She has 2 boards tonight, averages over 7 per game.
Now, the Pavilion, you have to remember, is not an easy place to come in and play. And Longwood, I mean, despite the score, has a lot of bright spots to look at, especially like that 3-pointer from Brown.
Brown's a shooter, too. 33% three-point shooter, 3rd on the team now with 7 threes made this year. Scored a season-high 16 points against George Washington, where she tied her season-high 3 made threes in a game. Pass intercepted by Peterson. Goes coast to coast, creates contact, and a free throw coming.
And one. I feel like that should be Ole Miss's motto because they get a ton of and ones. They are so good at not waiting for the foul to be called. You can tell that they go up, wanting the finish, and the foul is just the cherry on top.
Peterson was a scorer at UCF in her time there. Over 21 points per game last year at UCF, and over 20 points per game her junior year. That's the other thing, too. Ole Miss, of their 8 transfers, Lindsay, 3 of them are 1,000-point scorers. A lot of talk about Cody McMahon, right? But Caitlin Peterson, a scorer in her own right, too. This doesn't look like a team that wants to hog the ball, though. They want to share the ball because they know they have to do that in order to be successful.
You are absolutely right. And I feel like that is the most difficult part with the transfer portal is figuring out your role because they're stacked. The roster's stacked with talent, but you have to learn to mesh well as a team, which is Ole Miss team is doing a great job of so far. Ole
Miss forces Longwood's 18th turnover tonight. 13 steals for the Rebels now this evening as Thompson takes it inside. Lost it in midair. Here comes Brown. Brown takes on McMahon. Is turned away. 3 ball from Bolden. Too strong. Pace is picked up as Peterson zips it to McMahon. Bulldozes a Lancer and scores. 27 points for Cody McMahon tonight, a season high and 5 away from her career high. And puts it in. Draws the foul, but McMahon in some pain after that now.
I feel like she was in some pain before that.
It's just fantastic.
But someone get her jersey.
Yeah, if she's willing.
If she wants some playing time, get her a jersey.
Well, developing now for Ole Miss, you saw Cody McMahon wince after a layup before we went to break. Good to see her in good spirits, flashing the pearly whites on the bike. What stinks, though, for Cody is unfortunate. I don't know if she's going to get her 3rd straight double-double tonight. She's fallen 1 rebound short.
That is a bummer. I mean, to be that close to it, but I seriously, knowing her, I don't think that she cares about that. It would be nice, but she wants the dub.
Well, you know, Coach Yo is saying, yeah, my 2-time All-American is not going to see the floor the rest of the night after that. Ole Miss quickly the other way as Tiana Thompson fumbles the basketball. Now here comes Longwood with J.C. Bolden. Bolden has 5 points tonight. Brown launches another deep ball, but misses strong. Sirachinu corrals her 6th rebound tonight. That's her per-game average. And now Chinu dishes to Murray. And off ball, the whistles come in. 3 seconds called on Ole Miss's Christine Iwala, who has 10 points, 6 rebounds. Dare I say it's a quiet night for Christine Iwala. dare I say.
I mean, it is, though. We are used to seeing her be a stat stuffer and light it up. Tonight, she just hasn't had to play that role.
Coming off back-to-back double-doubles, Iwala averaging nearly 17 points per game and over 9 rebounds a contest. As Brown goes to work for Longwood, outside to Jasmine Peaks. Definite mismatch here against Iwala. Needs help. Shot clock down to 4 for the Lancers. Here's Brown, another deep ball. Ole Miss ball.
What a great defensive possession. Almost forced the 5-second call from high pressure defense, but then you look up and you've just got a couple seconds to shoot. I mean, that has to make Coach O smile. I don't know that much will make her smile because we're in the middle of the season, but hopefully that made her grin a little.
Well, Coach O said November's all about learning lessons, especially before conference play. Even some lessons learned from Ole Miss back in that win up in Memphis. On the other end, Longwood misses the transition layup. J.C. Bolden off the mark. And now Tiana Thompson dribbles up the floor and gives to Chinu. Coach O still messing with her rotation, she told us earlier today. As another whistle comes in. This may be on Esenavalu. Commits the foul on Christine Iwala. Esenavalu commits her fourth. And now Esenavalu comes off the floor. Destiny Scott returns, as does Amore Harris. And Francis Ulysse subs back in too. All right, Lindsay, go back to your days playing non-conference basketball in November. What really was the priority for you all back in the day?
It was definitely learning, and motion offense, one thing, but more so on the defensive end. Coach Ross had us playing a ton of different defenses, the full court press, the zone, the man-to-man, and you just have to figure out what clicks the best for the talent that you have.
And you know Erica Lang Montgomery in her fourth year at Longwood, figuring out her rotation too, and no shot called underneath. In fact, it's an offensive foul called on Francis Ulysse. That's her fourth, and another Longwood Lancer with 4 personal fouls. 4 Longwood players with 4 fouls now. And Ulysse picked up a technical too earlier in this game, so she's got to be really careful with what she says to the referees from here on out. But Ulysse subs off, and Jemiah Robinson returns. This Longwood team will be really good in Big South play. Picked to finish second, right behind High Point, but the Lancers lost to in last year's Big South Tournament Championship. After having 9-win seasons the 2 years before. Ball stays this way for Ole Miss. Talking with Erica Lang Montgomery about that turnaround, right? She just said a lot of the young players matured quickly. They helped with that turnaround. Took a couple of years to establish their culture, but they made some defensive changes too last year that really helped them. Heck, they forced so many turnovers too. They were just chaotic all last year defensively, and that led them to a 22-win year.
Yeah, they had a fantastic year, and when you have a program where not a single player wants to leave, that is just a testament of what you have built and what kind of coach you are and what kind of program it is.
Ball squirts loose, picked up by Jacobs, adjusts in midair, can't finish. Jayla Murray cleans it up but can't finish. But Iwala does. Now with 12 points, Christine Iwala.
Just the offensive boards that Longwood has given up have been the dagger in the heart, giving Ole Miss entirely too many second chance baskets.
Well, Ole Miss also had 31 points back in the third quarter, the most scored by the Rebels in a quarter this year. That's how good they've been offensively as Harris scoops it up and in for the Lancers. Harris now up to double figures. She leads the way. Iwala flies in, saves the basketball from going out of bounds. Chinu back to Iwala. And she rewards herself on a great play underneath the basket. Gets herself 2 points.
Great effort by your big to run the full length of the floor and get back there, and you don't quit until it's finished.
Now 2 rebounds away from her double-double with 14 points, Iwala. Eight left to shoot for Robinson. Still dribbling and throws it away. Intended that for Harris. And that's turnover number 21. How about this effort from Iwala? 6'2" senior going sky high. You got to give her, you got to reward her for that, right?
Absolutely. Give her some flowers. I mean, that is an A for effort. And because of her effort, look there, 2 points.
Seeking third straight double-double, but we'll see with the remaining 4:20 left if Coach Yo wants to sub Iwala back in. Coach Yo said of Christine, she was so exhausted after that Memphis game. As Lauren Jacobs hits it from distance. Jacobs' first 3 points tonight. But Coach Yo said Christine was so exhausted, she played basically the entire game. Poor girl just wanted to go take a nap after the game.
And instead, she probably had to take an ice bath.
On the bus.
On the bus.
Chinu skies to the rim, can't finish. Rebound yanked down by Malia Brown. And Brown better watch behind her, picked away by Chinu. Jacobs can't get a little help from the rim. Ball batted out of play, and last touch by Ole Miss, Longwood ball. Lauren Jacobs has a really bright future ahead, Lindsay, and she's the only true freshman on this team, which I find fascinating.
She does, and learning from the best. She is surrounded by some of the best women in college basketball, and in my opinion, she plays beyond her years. She doesn't play like a freshman.
She's just going to be a sponge this year, right? Take it all in from all the older players around her, and you know Coach O's going to build around Lauren Jacobs for future years to come. South Carolina, Gatorade Player of the Year, #1 recruit in the state of South Carolina. Somehow got her to come to the SIP and not to Dawn Staley and company.
That's some thick competition in South Carolina.
Very thick. Twirl to the basket for Ulysses. Can't drop it in, and Ulysses, I think, called for the foul in the backcourt. Not on Ulysses, it's on Brown. Both Lancers were in the area. Brown commits her second tonight. Graduate student from Florida. Playing in her 71st game today with Longwood. Three in the corner, it's Jacobs again. 6 points, 2 for 2 from outside the arc tonight.
Jacobs playing with some confidence, especially in her shooting ability.
Now Ole Miss sits on 99 points, 99-48. 2:47 left to go in the contest. Beautiful Euro step by Scott, but boinks it strong. Rebound for #7, Desiree Kiles, 6'5" sophomore from Michigan. Transfer from Central Michigan. Jacobs again, this time too strong. Chinu left all alone. Pass thrown right to Lattimore. Chinu now in the corner. Gives to Lattimore. Off balance, she draws the foul. Ole Miss looking for their first 100-point game since December 8, 2020 against Alcorn State. As Esanavalu fouls out, that was her 5th personal, and she sends Lattimore to the line. See Coach Lang Montgomery having a chat with Esanavalu, who without a doubt will have a tremendous season. One of their veterans. As Lattimore hits the free throw, and there you have it. Ole Miss's first 100-point game since December of 2020.
That surprises me. It has not been since then with all the scores that they've had on their team.
Somehow the crowd was louder for 67 than they were for 100.
I noticed that as well, Jake.
Is what it is.
Just not as exciting to hit triple digits.
There's not a hand movement for 100. 100 is the old 6'7". Lauren Jacobs misses underneath, and the basketball's volleyball out of play, and will go in favor of Longwood. What's impressed you the most about Ole Miss tonight?
Yeah, just the effort, I would have to say. I mean, you can see that they're playing just as hard now as they were from the tip, and that's what you want to see if you're Coach Yo, every single possession.
Both these teams for Thanksgiving will travel down south to warmer weather. Long 2 off the mark for Harris. Rebound for Desiree Kiles. Ole Miss will go to Daytona Beach for Thanksgiving to take on Wisconsin and George Mason in the Coast to Coast Classic. And then Longwood will go down to Puerto Rico. Fun little trip down to San Juan to take on Buffalo. And also Stephen F. Austin. You see the upcoming schedule for Ole Miss. A couple of Power Fours coming up for the Rebels, who are in the driver's seat to improve to 5-0. Big one against Notre Dame. That's probably the one that they've scheduled, but you got to get through Wisconsin and George Mason first before coming back to Oxford to take on the Irish.
Yeah, it's an exciting little stretch. I mean, Thanksgiving is a good test for the back-to-back games that you have in tournament time on a glimpse of the future.
Desiree Kiles flips it up and misses. Rebound for Longwood. And then Longwood will be tested against a very talented Buffalo team and also SFA in Puerto Rico. Kristen Sharkey, former Buffalo Bull, now head coach of her alma mater. Should be a fun one between those two. If I know Kristen Sharkey, it's going to be another defensive battle between Longwood and Buffalo down in Puerto Rico. Lauren Jacobs wants her third three of the night, around and out.
I was wanting that one for her.
Notable non-conference opponents. Just talked about Buffalo on Thursday. Stephen F. Austin a couple of days later. Troy and UNC Pembroke coming up, also at Elon. Right before they start Big South play, where they're picked to finish second right behind the High Point Panthers. That'll be a fun regular season conference bout on February the 11th against High Point, at High Point. And of course you have Ole Miss, picked to finish 6th or higher in the SEC for a 4th straight season. What are you looking forward to the most when it comes to SEC play, Lindsay?
Just how it plays out. I mean,
yeah.
I truly believe that the SEC is one of the best conferences, the strongest conferences, and there's never an upset because the talent is so strong. So you want to see how you can truly compete.
Schedule starts SEC-wise for Ole Miss on New Year's Day against Georgia. Coach Abe and company coming to Oxford. Stolen by Peterson, and she's all alone. 102-50. Ole Miss dropping 100 points for the first time since 2020. And final 13 ticks left in the Mid-South. Have a tremendous Thanksgiving. If you or anybody you know are traveling, safe travels, and enjoy your sweet bean casserole and everything else. The buzzer sounds, and Ole Miss